Let's see if we can get the camera to set up for us today. Okay. Alright, so I just primed my face using the Professional from Benefit. And I'm using my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. It's the best sponge in the world. If you don't try a beauty blender, you're crazy. And I'm actually just going to use my camera on my phone as my mirror. I'm using the Revlon Color Stay 24-Hour Makeup in Warm Golden. It's for combination and oily skin. They also have ones that are specifically made for dry and normal skin. So, the first things that I've noticed about this foundation are it's like a holy grail for me. It's the best foundation I've ever used. I don't get oily. It doesn't transfer when I hug somebody or even when I touch my own face. It's so easy. It's full coverage in my opinion. I mean, it covers any acne that you have or anything. It really is a 24-hour stay, you know, makeup. In like one coat, it covers, for me, it covers half my face, if not more. It sets really nice in, like it doesn't sit in your lines or anything on your face if you have them, or anything. It doesn't crease on your nose or anything. It just fits really, really nice on your skin. But, you know, every product is different for everybody else. And I completely miss my sponge, but that's okay. Gotta make sure you're blending it perfectly up in your head. Or at least make sure you find the right shade, like some people don't. But that's okay. There are no rules in makeup. If you want to look darker, that's fine. If you want to look lighter, that's fine too, because you can always brighten it up with, you know, concealer. Well, that'll just brighten your under eyes unless you spot conceal. You know, you can always put in a mixer or anything if you need to lighten the makeup. If you buy one too dark and you still want to use it because it's a really good makeup, you can pretty much do anything with makeup. There are no rules really in makeup. It's amazing at what you can learn from experimenting as yourself, but also experimenting in, you know, in anything really. That's the only way you learn is practice makes perfect. And if you wear makeup, you know, down your neck, blend it down your neck if it's too dark, just to kind of even you out so you don't look like, you know, because some people don't, and some people wind up like wearing makeup that's too dark and you wind up getting like an orange line around your neck or around your jaw and stuff, so you kind of look like an Oompa Loompa. And, you know, that's not attractive. Who wants to be an Oompa Loompa? Come on now, this isn't Charlie Chocolate Factory. Sorry the lighting's kind of bad, but we're working with what we got here. Me, I always personally take my makeup and blend it down. I love having my makeup blended down because I feel like it gives me full coverage on my neck or anything. I don't have acne or anything on my neck, but I still feel like it's the best full coverage that you can get. Excuse me. Gotta get the makeup off the couch here. But that's okay, we're getting there. I'm gonna use my Urban Decay mirror just so I can see my neck real good, so I can get that blended down nice and even. If I can hold things. Get it down the side of your neck, where your jaw and but like behind your ear. Once again, this isn't a step you have to do. It's only if you want to do it. I would say if you have any like neck acne or anything going on your neck, or you know the foundation's just a little too dark, or if you self-tan or anything like that, you know, just really get it in your skin real nice. That's one thing I like about a beauty blender compared to a brush. Some brushes I feel like tug on my skin, and my skin is really, really sensitive. I have to be really careful about, like, what I use. And for me, the Beauty Blender, I don't waste nearly as much foundation as I used to when I used a brush. I used to use one of those flat looking brushes, or like a kabuki brush, for a long, long time. And I loved it, but I noticed a few things about that was, like, my skin wouldn't really absorb it because my skin is so oily. The foundation more or less just sat on top of my skin, and it was very, like, what's the word for it? It was very, it would just slide all around on my face. It just looked odd, and I couldn't set it with a powder or anything. And that was really hard for me because if I did, it looked so patchy, and it just looked very makeup-like. This is my concealer. It's Vanilla from NARS. Really good coverage. It just comes with this little doe foot applicator. I just put it under my eyes. I don't really go down I go down the side of my nose, but I don't really go full-blown, like, on my forehead or on my cupid's bow or my chin. Just because, like, I really don't ever break out there, thankfully. I only break out in some places, like, I break out more or less, like, on my cheeks, but it's actually been really good recently. And then you just take another Beauty Blender. This is actually from Sephora. This is, like, one of the original Beauty Blenders, as they call them. And I got it when I went to the mall the other week. And I've actually been using it like crazy. With the Access concealer, I just kind of blot it on my nose, on the sides of my nose and stuff. And just to really make sure that the concealer and stuff is all really blended out really well. You know, because you don't want to look like you have, like, some weird... I mean, obviously it's going to look brighter than the foundation itself. But, you know, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make your... supposed to brighten everything up, and that's okay. You know, you got to try and bring a little dimension to your face. I mean, and my thing is, it doesn't matter, like, what kind of makeup you do. I mean, you can just put on foundation or just spot conceal. Or if you're like me, and even though you're just going to work, and you still just want to look nice, you know, just for yourself, I mean, that's okay. You can do whatever you want. There's no one telling you, you know, why are you going to do that if you're just going to work? Well, I mean, yeah, I work, but, I mean, I still work with public, so, I mean, they're always seeing me. I don't want to look undecent, and I'm not saying anything bad about people that don't wear foundation every day, because foundation doesn't make you beautiful. People make themselves beautiful. I think people kind of... the best way for people to see their natural beauty is, you know, you got to love the skin that you're born in. Because if you can't love the skin that you're born in, makeup's not going to do anything at the end of the day, because when the makeup comes off, you still have that skin. So you really have to know, like, okay, I am beautiful the way that I am with the skin that I was given, you know. Unfortunately, no one can choose that, but you can always do things to enhance your natural beauty, you know. If you're first starting in makeup, like, I've been wearing makeup for several years, but this is my actually very first YouTube video I've ever made in my life. And, you know, makeup's hard. Like, I mean, there are so many shades. You're trying to figure out your skin, if you have mature skin, if you have oily, if you have, you know, acne or anything. Like, you want to make sure you're getting what you're getting, because you don't want to mess up on any of the makeup that you buy, because makeup is expensive. It really is. It's a very expensive process, and it takes time. It really takes a lot of time to get things, you know, that you find are a holy grail for you, because, you know, not everything works for the same person. You know, you can always find something that works for you, but not for someone else. Got a hair on my nose, excuse me. I'm trying to find my stand, but I can't find it. That's okay. Alright. Foundation's done, concealer's done. What we're going to do now is we are going to set my face. I don't bake just because, like, for me, baking doesn't really help me, and my under eyes are always really a little bit brighter anyways. I use the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect? I don't know. It's a perfecting loose powder, and it is wonderful. It doesn't have flashback or anything. It is drugstore cheap. It is like $8. And you get in this Net weight, 0.5 ounces, so a little less than an ounce. And, you know, this is normal, 1 fluid ounce, standard makeup size. My thing is, you don't have to go to Sephora or Ulta and buy, like, crazy expensive makeup. You can always find really good things from the drugstore. Lately, the drugstore has really been stepping up their game. Because at first, you couldn't find one good makeup from the drugstore or anything. It would take you, like, a good time to find it. Like, and I have this Real Techniques. Everything I have is Real Techniques, but that's okay. This is a Real Techniques powder brush I got from Walmart. And I just pour a little bit in the cup, in the top right here, if you can see that. It's white, but it still has, like, a pretty, I wouldn't say, like, it's got a tint to it, but it's like a pink undertone kind of tint looking thing to me. But I could be wrong. I don't know. To me, it looks a little pink, but it does wonderful things for my skin because I'm so oily. I actually just put this all over my face, and I don't really, like, swirl it around on my face or, like, buff it around. I just kind of stiffle. I get enough on my brush, and I just, you know, take it and blot it all around my face, on my forehead, my nose, in my cheeks, my jaws, my chin, my upper lip, which it's okay if you get makeup everywhere. You can always clean that up. I don't really go down my neck because my neck is never oily. My neck actually dries. And when this foundation dries, it does dry very, it doesn't dry like super fast, but it dries very nice to a very nice, finish. I wouldn't say it, I mean, to me it's not sticky, but I think that's just help for that's help from the primer, and because it's specifically made for combination and oily skin. And it works wonderful. Like, I mean, I have fallen asleep several times with this foundation on and woken up the next day and it's still there. It's not as wonderful as it is when you first apply it, but it's still there. I just feel like, I mean, it sits so pretty on your skin. I think it would be great for, honestly, anyone. I have my mirror over here that I'm just looking into if I'm not looking at the camera. And I always like to really look at my skin to make sure there are no, you know, and nothing miscolored or anything, because, you know, some foundations don't work on certain skin, but I've been using these all the time for a while now. It's like my holy grails go-to, just because they're amazing. Once again, they're just wonderful products. If you ever look in the drugstore and you ever just want a good powder, you know, L'Oreal, the Hydra Perfect is wonderful. Even though it says Hydra, so I'm guessing hydrating or hydration, whatever, one of the two. It works wonderful. And I just really like to make sure that this powder is pressed into my skin. This is actually the first powder that I've actually been able to use that doesn't make my foundation look splotchy, or like I am having like some weird skin texture, because I don't have textured skin, thankfully. I do, however, have like I get acne every once in a while, but who doesn't? Like, no one's skin's perfect. Come on now, let's be real. But so much pigment from blush. Anyways, I don't ever really have textured on my skin, but like, if you can look at my skin and see that it's not, it looks very nice and like even to my, like my neck and my chest. My hands and my arms and my legs are actually a lot darker than I am, but my face, I don't ever like to really tan my face. I like to kind of keep my face safe, so I put sunscreen on my face and my neck, because that causes wrinkles, and you really have to take good care of your skin on your face because it goes through so much like harsh environments and stuff. Even throughout the day, just like going to the mailbox, you know, going to your car, outside, sitting on the porch, anything you do, it's going through an environment. Like, I mean, it's always hot, it's humid, it's raining, it's this, it's that, it's everything. You know, especially if you're living in like a big city or anything, you know, they have like gas pollution and stuff like that. Well, not gas pollution, but like, I'm pretty sure you people are understanding exactly what I'm saying. Anyways, alright, so I have powdered my face. I like to personally do my blush before I do my contour, but You can do whatever. It doesn't matter as long as you do it. You don't have to wear blush. I personally just recently have started wearing blush this year. And I actually have this little... It's Instant Cheekbones through CoverGirl. And they are these 3 little shades right here. They're beautiful. I use this one and this one. The middle one and the first one. Yeah, this one. The dark one. And I don't use a lot because I don't like a lot of blush. I like to kind of look subtle. I like just a nice little tone of color. And, you know, you get... this is actually a Sephora brush. It's my angled brush, but I don't really know what happened to the other one. I had 3, and they came in a real nice package. That was really great for traveling, but I don't really take my makeup with me just because I don't have a life. I just go to work and come home. So it's okay and watch YouTube videos. But that's life. Like, it's okay. Somebody's got to do something. And when you do blush, you know, just give a little smile. Doesn't have to be like a genuine smile because, like, who's smiling while they're doing their makeup? I know I'm really not smiling. And then it gives you, like, a nice little hue of, like, a little pink. And that's okay because that's what you want, you know. You don't want to look like... The whole thing about makeup is to look natural and pretty and, you know, enhance your beauty because, you know, everyone has beauty inside and out. Or somewhere within everybody there is beauty. Somewhere. It doesn't matter what anybody else says about you. There's beauty inside of you. I promise you that. Because it takes a long time to find somebody that can say, I'm beautiful. I'm one of those people. I can now say that I am beautiful the way that I am, and there's nobody that's going to change me. Always remember that, people. Always. You are your biggest critic, but you are also the biggest person that in your life that is going to bring you up. And just give a nice little smile, and your apples of your cheeks are where you want to apply the blush. You don't really have to apply a whole lot, and you really don't want to try and get like too close to your nose because you don't want to blush everything. You just kind of want a nice little glow. And you know, everything looks so different in these lights compared to like outside in like natural lighting. In natural lighting, my makeup actually doesn't look nearly as dark as it appears on this camera. But like, as you can see, like right here, there's where my blush is. There's where my blush is. I don't have anything else on right now. I'm going to do my contour, which is through it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills kit. And I use the light to medium. I love this contour palette. It has been, once again, I say holy grail a lot, but like, I don't really buy a lot of high-end makeup and stuff, but since I got this palette has been working really well. Like, it's wonderful. It's vegan and cruelty-free, I do believe. By the way, when you're buying things, that is a wonderful thing. Vegan and cruelty-free. Don't test things on animals. And I use... Which shades do I use? I use the ones at the very bottom here. I use the one in the middle and the one closest to the left side. Which, if you're looking at it from a computer, it's... I've been using these non-stop. They're beautiful. They work wonderful. I like every single one of them on my skin. They're perfect. Now, I think the lady at Sephora actually told me that they have another palette online from Anastasia Beverly Hills. But I don't need that one. That one's for really fair-skinned people. And what I do with this is I just... I have to tell you... It's difficult to tell, but this is just what I do just for me because it's the best way for me to do it. Like, some people use, like, things like to angle on their face and stuff, and I really don't. You can always make the fish face. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I personally don't like my contour to be, like, real on fleek or on point. Sorry, on fleek, wow. I normally use this dark one right here, and I call it... I really don't know what the name of this one is. It's either Java or Havana. I'm not sure which one it is. I don't mind my highlight being darker than my face just because, like, it does warm up and you can always blend. Just blend it out. If it's too dark, just keep blending. Not every time you do your makeup it's going to be perfect. I promise you that. Trust me. This is from many times of error. Excuse me. From error. You know, trial and error. Trial and error. That's what you got to do. The first time I did this, I was scared to death to contour my face or anything. But I did it, and then I went to work, and I got so many compliments on it, like, wow, your face looks so nice. You know, I love your contour. I love your blush. I love your highlight. I mean, it was real nice to hear those things. So, for them to say that, you know, it makes me feel really nice and makes me feel good. Like, okay, I'm not a makeup artist, but, you know, okay, yeah, I can do my makeup. I don't need anyone telling me, you know, I don't need negativity because I know that I can do this. So, honestly, I don't suck in my face. I find, like, I know my cheekbones are up here because I have a high face. So I normally just, like, come from, like, my tragus, which, if you don't know what your tragus is, it's this part right here. Mine are really small, but it's on the inside of your ear right here. And then I just kind of bring it down. I don't bring it down too far because, you know, you don't want it to, like, be at your mouth and, you know, or anything like that. Once again, this is the Sephora angled brush. I use the same brush to do my blush and my highlight just because I like subtle glow. And, you just kind of blend it out, you know. If you feel like, okay, well, that's a little too harsh for me, just keep blending. It's okay. Honestly, I don't contour my forehead, my nose, or anything like that. I usually highlight them. And, I don't highlight my jawbone or anything. I don't like that. I don't like the way that it looks on me personally, but some people do it wonderfully. Like, I mean, but then again, these people have been doing YouTube for years. This is my first time ever making a YouTube video. So, for me to do it this way is the best way that's comfortable for me, which I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I just want to try some other products. And as you can see, it's a little like that, which is okay because I actually personally really like the way that it looks on my face. And I'm not done. I have to do the other side, but it actually doesn't look nearly as harsh as it does on the camera. But that's okay. That's how it normally is. Once you finish it, it doesn't look nearly like this. I don't know why the camera always makes everything look so different. Like, oh wow, you're probably like, oh my god, look at that big line on his face. No, it's not a big line. It's not that bad, actually. And then you just do the other side. Once again, come from your, like, the top of your earlobe, come down. Not your earlobe, but, like, your tragus. And just kind of blend it all around. Blend it up into your hairline. You know, you don't want to look like you're half orange on one side and then on the other side it be, like, a little different looking. That is my contour. See, it looks much better on this side than it does on this side. And, like, these things blend out so perfectly on top of this foundation and the setting powder. And if you ever feel like, okay, my contour isn't what I like, you can always take a big powdery brush. For me, the only one that I have is this big Real Techniques brush, and I love it. And you can always just, like, kind of buff it around. You can always take, okay, you can say, take a damp beauty blender, dip it in your loose powder, and go underneath of it like that, and then go over top of it if you want to, or if it's just really messy. Excuse me. I'm probably not going to mess with any more of my beauty blender, my contour anymore. I'm just now going to do my highlight, which I use the Jeffree Star highlights because they are beautiful. Now, when I say use them, use just a little pigment. They're a little pigment. Y'all, I cannot talk today. Just use a little bit. They are so pigmented, but they're so beautiful. I actually have 4 of them. I have Siberian Gold, Peach Goddess, Ice Cold, and Crystal Ball. They are my favorite. This is the Ice Cold. I love it. It's gorgeous. And this is the Peach one that I've been using actually recently. And I just, like, do you see that? Can you see that on that brush? That is beautiful. Like, you don't even need that much because you will, like, be blinding people. And then what you do with your highlight is, you don't have to highlight if you don't want to. I actually just started highlighting. I never knew what highlighting was, actually. And you find the top of your cheekbone, like, right... I go from, like, my corner of my eye, and then I go up into, like, a little... It looks like an alligator because I go, like, right above my temple and right above my, my eyebrow. And then you just kind of... And if you see that little shimmer, like, that's perfect. That's what you want. You don't want to... I mean, if you like a real intense highlight, these are it. Like, these are legitimate hit. These are beautiful. And I do the same thing over here. And I always kind of, like, I always look in my bathroom mirror after I'm done doing my makeup just to make sure everything is okay. And I will be doing that. And I will show you what my makeup looks like in actual real lighting when I get in the car to go to work.